Mercedes had a weekend to remember. Kind of.
Hey, bro.
Kind of. See, listen.
There's
There's
one listener who says that we never mention. Talk about.
I know. We haven't given Mercedes much.
Even Dan can't mention Russell's name.
Yeah. This is one team that hasn't.
Holy moly!
You didn't see the message.
You dropped a holy moly at Canada.
we haven't given Mercedes much airtime this season. And the truth is because there's really nothing much to talk about when we talk about.
There's something to talk about.
There is something to
Why
talk
haven't
about
you
now.
talked about them?
Now
we've been here with you.
Now there is something
to talk about.
We've been here with you this season for all the episodes. There's no episode you've missed. You've never talked about Mercedes openly. We haven't given them much airtime. We've given Ferrari, McLaren, Red Bull airtime. But we've even given Alpine more airtime than Mercedes. So the Mercedes guys are always like, where haven't you talked about George? Like the last episode.
Let's give them the time.
Yeah, the last episode they were like, listen, the tire whisperer, why haven't you talked about him? And I'm like, which tire whisperer?
George.
Which tire whisperer?
Holy moly.
And I think he got pole. He got pole in Montreal.
Yep.
And they actually tied.
Yeah.
Those guys were quick.
To the
right from free practice.
10th, 100th, to the 1000th of the second.
Hey, but Hamilton, man, what happened to Hamilton? Because Hamilton was coming in hot.
Yeah, he was coming in hot.
You think they sabotaged him?
I don't know. Now there are rumors.
I will always call this. I will always call this. They are trying to sabotage. No. They are trying.
No.
Because listen, are you even watching the vibe?
You're not even wearing a tinfoil hat. Why are you coming up with it?
No, listen. I'm just calling.
There's no tinfoil hat.
Yeah. I'm just saying though, look at the vibes. Before, when George was joining, Hamilton was still the number one driver and everything. And now, ever since Hamilton said he's leaving the team and all this and all that, there has been this vibe whereby the team is leaning towards George heavily. Do
you have evidence?
Yeah,
support this claim.
I have evidence to support this claim. And I'm talking how even the radio chatter that goes on between the two drivers and the race engineers and everything. You can see Mercedes are a team which has actually shifted to be George's team at this point. Maybe Hamilton is just there for the vibes. People are calling it vibes and stuff, but I think Hamilton is professional enough to try and give his best for the team. But watching from the outside, looking, hey, listen, I have a knack for these things, man. I just have a knack for it. Trust me, bro. My sources trust me.
When Nico Rosberg joined Michael Schumacher, 7 all-time champion.
Who joined who?
Who joined who, by the way? But they were teammates, Nico Rosberg and Michael Schumacher.
Exactly. It's Schumacher who joined Rosberg.
Rosberg. At that time, Michael was 7 all-time world champion. Rosberg was like entering. He had just left Williams, didn't he?
Yeah.
What did we? Is it any different than now? George and Hamilton.
No, it's not the same situation because this is a situation whereby Schumacher was coming. Now this is a situation where Hamilton is leaving.
Yeah, you have to put things into context also. Hamilton will be joining Ferrari next year. Yeah. Outside the track, of course, there are things which Mercedes wouldn't like Hamilton to be involved in, especially if it's things like car development or maybe which place were they fighting over? Was it Monaco?
Who?
Hamilton and George. Not fighting, sorry. I don't stuck you on it.
Not for a win, for a podium place.
Front wing.
Oh, wing.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't remember.
Wait, where George got the front wing?
Yes, and Hamilton.
And Hamilton. Okay,
got
George got the front wing in Monaco.
Yes.
And in Montreal, they both got the same wing.
Yes, they got the same
wing. Montreal, they got the same wing.
Yeah. So, yes, Hamilton says he let George have that front wing. But it also makes sense. If George will be present to see that car developed up to next year, why not prioritize George?
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not really throwing shade on the situation that Hamilton is being cut off from the team or Ametoleo WhatsApp group or anything. I'm not saying that. Maybe Ametoleo, but I'm your left. Yeah. So but from when George joined, George has always been the one to, grab that team by the throat. He's always wanted to stake his claim as the top dog, Since he joined. Now, listen, from 2022, George has always moved around Mercedes like the guy who wants to prove a point. Listen, that's what
I can say even pre-joining or even before he joined Mercedes. Remember George at Williams? He was always the chatty guy.
Yeah.
Like, guys, we need to fix this. We need to move forward. As in, that's
George. Ambition. I know.
That's George,
and when he joined Mercedes, this is what I'm talking about. When he joined Mercedes, I think Lewis was too comfortable with Valtteri. Lewis was too comfortable with Valtteri. Now, when George joined, he wasn't accepting, okay, listen, I'm the number 2 driver. I'm here to for Lewis. He was there I'm here for a reason. I'm here to try and challenge for wins and this and that and this and that. Yeah. He wasn't taking mediocre performances lightly. He was trying to push. And I don't want to say Hamilton is the nonchalant dude who's always like, for the sidelines and he'll just wait to prove it on track. But that's kind of what happened. And you remember, I think George has outperformed Hamilton every single year since he joined. So the first year when it happened, guys were making up excuses for Hamilton, like, oh, Hamilton was in the
experiments.
in the. But listen, that's all BS. Sorry to say, that's all BS.
So what do you think about Canada?
No, wait. Let me build it up to that situation. Okay. So I think that's all BS. I think George was beating Hamilton on track, and when we got to the following year, the second reiteration of the bullshit car they had, what was it? The L15. When we got to the second year of the L15, W15. I'm sorry. The L15. Hamilton was beaten by George again. Now this time they couldn't bring up claims of Hamilton was in the setup car and everything and all that and this and that. So George, I kind of feel it's a situation whereby George knows he can beat Hamilton, knows he can beat a 7-time world champion or 8 or whatever people want to say. He knows that. So coming into the year, I think Toto felt some type of way about how Hamilton left. Still feels some type of way. I know he's salty. He's salty as hell. I think Toto is kind of now leaning with George a bit. He's like, you know what? Let me ride with this guy. This guy is trying to push some things. He's trying to make things happen.
But what would you do if Hamilton announced he's leaving? See, he announced he's leaving.
I mean, the way he announced, listen, there are definitely cracks.
And that's like a 1-year notice. Actually, not many teams get that much notice.
I really don't know the situation between them. They always discuss like their family. I think you're the one who put me onto that. The DTS Drive to Survive episode whereby they're talking like they're always family and all that. And then that happened. I think I'll have to agree with the people who say I think Toto wanted to drop the hot potato on Hamilton, but Hamilton did it first, and he kind of felt some type of way because it was done on him first.
I don't think so.
I think Toto was about to let Hamilton go in a situation where I don't think it would have been a fair situation for Hamilton.
Let's come back to Canada.
Yeah.
George.
But long story short, George has been moving some type of way and Hamilton has been moving some type of way. These guys, I don't think Hamilton
Do you think he is sabotaged by Mercedes?
Yeah, that's what I'm coming to. I don't think Hamilton particularly likes George. Maybe they tolerate each other. I don't think... You can see friends on track. You can see guys who are actually friends on track. I don't think Hamilton and George match the same vibe. I'm maybe looking too much into it. I don't know.
Who are friends? Who do you know? Which pair are friends?
Wait, Mercedes wanna sabotage
George
Hamilton.
By pair, I mean teammates.
Carlos and Leclerc are friends.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You think they're friends?
Yeah.
It's for the show.
Okay, listen.
It's for the likes.
Theirs looks better than the relationship
shares
between Hamilton and George. Because Hamilton and George, these guys can't... I've never seen them in the same picture frame. They're looking at the same car and they're talking and discussing about whatever the car is going to be like. I've never seen them in that same picture frame.
Okay.
So, it's not the Alpine situation, but it's definitely not all rosy.
Yeah.
So Mercedes, mi nataka kujua Mercedes, are they sabotaging Hamilton?
You still want an answer from my conspiracy theory? Yes. Okay, so, not really, not directly,
How?
So
are they doing
okay, let me what Hamilton said for like when he did FP3. He topped FP3. The car was feeling good and he said nobody should touch that car, it should remain as it is. But come call, he said somehow when he was leaving the pits his tire temps were low.
Are you trying to tell
by
me George,
by 3 degrees or something.
Yeah.
George
So-
didn't put some ice when he was walking past?
So that is what has been said. Now, how it happened and everything, it's only up for speculation.
Or the blanket warmers. You know the tires always have tire blankets. The guy didn't even actually put it on.
Hamilton has always been saying this, as in FP3, practice the car was good, come quali, the car was something else.
Sabotaging him.
What do you mean? As in, what? Mercedes has nothing to gain from that. What do they have to gain? What do they have to gain?
We just don't know.
I could mention a couple.
What?
Listen. It's a no-brainer. Okay, I don't know if it's a no-brainer, but I'll just put it out there. Who is more important to who? In the name they've built, in the house they've built in the name of Mercedes, who's more important to who? Is Hamilton more important to Mercedes and their legacy, or is Mercedes more important to Hamilton?
Legacy
Legacy-wise.
Hamilton, and I might get some smoke for this. We're talking about legacy, we're talking about the future. As
Yeah.
in longevity into the future. As in you still have a strong presence into the future.
Can I give you some more context so that you can that can help you to answer the question? Okay, so we know Schumacher is arguably the greatest of all time. Arguably. Now, when we talk Schumacher, we know he kind of revived Ferrari, but that doesn't mean he is kind of bigger than Ferrari as the team. It just means he has a special place in the hearts of all the Tifosi, because he kind of brought that resurgence back. He's the one who kind of made it happen for us. Yeah. Now, in the situation, or in the Mercedes camp, is it Mercedes were too good and Hamilton was just in a team that was too good, or was Hamilton the guy who made it happen for them?
I can say both ways. Hamilton, really good driver. Mercedes had a good car. Simple.
So it's evenly balanced.
It was just brilliance waiting for an opportunity to happen.
This is what I always say. Fast drivers will always find themselves in a fast car. So Max being in Red Bull, Hamilton being in Mercedes, then it's fulfilling just that low.
Now, a question for what you just said. So you said fast drivers always find themselves in a fast car.
Yeah.
So is Hamilton a fast driver to you?
When he was in Mercedes.
When?
Okay.
When?
2014.
Easy or easy
2014.
The previous
Sahi.
era.
Right
During
now.
the turbo hybrid era, yes.
So now he's not a fast driver.
He's lost the edge.
George is...
No. Hold on. He's saying this with a straight face. And I said this last year and he was like on my neck. He was
and
like, no.
That's what I was trying to say when Schumacher joined Rosberg. Rosberg alikuwa na kanika, like he can't do anything. Yeah? But Schumacher is a 7 world time champion. And we saw Rosberg beat Schumacher every time. Now Hamilton and Russell, 3 years. He has beaten him in those 3 years. Like, what more do you want to see? Okay,
well, it's a situation whereby I think there's nothing much to it. Let's see what will happen at the Spanish GP, because we know in Spain that Mercedes particularly performs well.
Yeah.
So let's that's the coming race. Yeah, it's actually a triple header.
They were
Spain.
They were both Mercedes were on podium in 2023. So it's a place, even when they have that bad car.
Alonso just needs to qualify Hamilton then.
Always
Done deal.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see what happens with that.